Hi guys, today we'll be doing an unboxing of the VRGMPL RX580 8GB card. So this is what we got. I got this from Shopee for around 3.9, but the because I used a voucher, the SRP is actually around 4,500. Still very cheap. Now I asked the supplier. They said this was a used card, but this looks like a brand new one, comes straight from the box. So let's go ahead and go around the box first. So pretty basic box and nothing more on it. Doesn't even say what model of card you have inside. And the back just has safety instructions for hardware installation and nothing more. Okay, so they might be using just one box for all their products and all their cards to cut down costs. So let's get to opening this baby, shall we? Well, looks like looks brand new. Let's set this aside first and see what else is inside the box. So we got a IDE to 6-pin power adapter for those PSUs that don't have that 8-pin power connector. What's this? PCIe slot screws. Okay, very thoughtful of them. CD. Alright. And that's it for the box. No manual or anything. Alright, let's open up the card and see what it looks like. And there we go. Okay. Looks brand new, never been used. Only problem is this thing is not aligned. So we're going to probably have to align that later on once we test it. It's angled in a weird way. So let's go over this. We have a couple of display ports, one HDMI port, six-pin power connector, and this thing's pretty heavy. No back plate. What? Let's see. No, it says RX580 8GB. So my guess is these are one of those recycled GPUs, or OEM GPUs, China branded ones. Now there are several of these that look alike if you go to Shopee and or Alibaba. So let's go through them, okay? Yeah. On the computer screen. So this is the one that we got. The VRGMPL, And then another lookalike would be this one. It doesn't say the brand, it doesn't show it there, but if you look at the, oh, here's one that looks like that one, exactly alike. Now, AFOX is one of the brands here we have. It says RX570 8GB. Looks very similar, uses the same shroud. Another brand is MLLSE. Just a slight difference on the design, but same shroud again. RX580 8GB. Another brand is this one, or a generic brand. And somewhat similar is this one with a different shroud, but everything else looks the same. And Kinology uses the same one as this one. If you look here, another one is Lookbit. So these are all OEM Chinese cards. Now you're probably wondering why they're so cheap. So my guess is that, from what I've seen, is that these OEM cards, and the seller said it was used, but it looks like they sent a brand new card. So one thing I'm thinking is this one. There are these companies that sell these cheap OEM cards. See on this one, it's around 5,100. Now this is the card that they make, so it looks very similar to this. And remember, there's no branding on the middle because it's OEM. So at these factories, you order like 1,000 pieces, you get to put your own brand on them typically. So question is, where do they get these processors, and how can they sell them so cheap? So the answer, I think, is that, if you've noticed, there are some shops or junk shops here in the Philippines that buy GPUs at, let's say, around 1,000 a piece for defective ones. So what they might be doing is that they're getting all those GPUs on the board, or probably even the memory modules. So, and then they recycle them, cut those, and ship it back to China. And then they make new PCBs, new shrouds, new capacitors, and then they just stick these used GPUs and memory modules onto them. So basically, used GPU, they could be using the used memory as well, but brand new PCB, brand new capacitors, brand new ports, brand new heatsink and fan. So that's what I'm thinking, why these cards are so cheap. And based on the review that we got from this one, the one that we got, because I bought this because the review said, the last guy who bought it said that it was all good, firmware stabilized at 74, legit 8GB RAM, and tested in Resident Evil 3 and Apex Legends. So it was a good review. So that means this one really works, but we'll test it out later and do a review on these things. So basically, that's what I'm thinking, why they got these for cheap and why they're selling for cheap. So hopefully, and why the seller said it was used. Probably it's a used GPU with a brand new PCB. And typically, the reasons why we get dead cards or a card style, usually you blow a capacitor or some other part of the PCB on the card. So if you get a brand new PCB, it's all good. The processors rarely break, or the GPUs rarely break. It's just that the circuitry and all the other components on the PCB are the ones that get damaged. So it's like basically buying half a brand new card, or half of a brand new card, because the GPU is used and the memory is used. I'm assuming, I'm not sure, but that might be the case. Anyways, we'll do a test on these cards and see how they work and see if they're any good. Comparing them to what I have now, let's say I have a Maxon RX580 8GB. It's another less known Chinese brand, but this particular brand, Maxon, is legit. I've used a couple of their cards already, from RX550s, 580s, and they do work. So that's it for my review. If you like my review, hit like and subscribe, and I'll just post the link where I got it. If you guys want to buy, I'll put the link below, and I'll also put the link on the actual review once we start reviewing this thing. Thanks.